Hello again, guys. Got another song today. This one is a choral piece. It's called Soneto de la Noche, and I've not heard it before, but I have a singing friend. Her YouTube name is Jekissa Lynn, and she's a choir teacher, and I used to sing in several different vocal groups, so I love this kind of music. And I asked her to suggest something because all I've gotten so far is metal requests for the most part. And I do like more than just metal. So gonna give this a shot. It might be a little mellow for you guys, people who've been watching the metal stuff. But let's give it a chance. All right? Life is about balance, right? Bass. It's my favorite chord right there. That's a pretty song. Yeah. Choral music has a really neat ability because it's just the human voice. For some reason, maybe not for everyone, but for me, that makes it's like more personal. Um, it doesn't get more personal of an instrument than something that's inside your body, right? And particularly when it's smaller ensembles, but even with a larger group like that. Um, and I'm glad they had the translation because that allowed me to connect a lot better. But um, it's been a while since I listened to that kind of music, and the way the chords resolve, um, it's so interesting. Like the way the arrangement, the way a good arrangement is done is it surprises you and it resolves chords. It makes you wait to hear what you want to hear. And there was a couple of moments like that where they had a long suspended chord, and then finally it rested down and resolved. And I was really tempted to sing a couple of the bass notes, but I didn't want to overload the video and ruin the sound for someone listening to the song. But I kind of chuckled in the middle, though. I always observe facial expressions when I look at choirs singing, because I used to sing in a few different choirs, and it's really funny because some just look completely stoic and they're just so serious and no emotion, they move between like a 1 and a 2 on the scale. And then there's other people who look a little more natural, and then there's other people who look like are trying to like produce something, like, hey, I'm into this. And I mean, I don't know if that's a professional choir or not. They look kind of amateur. I mean, they're in a church, and I mean, professional in terms of like Mormon Tabernacle Choir, have their own albums and whatever. But anyway, there's a moment in the middle where the shot was really tight on two people, a young lady and a man, and the man was singing and like pretty into it, and then she was behind him, but she made this look like kind of disgusted looking over at him, and she's in the row behind him, so I'm sure she wasn't looking at him, but it was just the timing was really funny. She looked over and had this kind of like annoyed look on her face. But besides all that, the music was very beautiful, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. Yeah, there's something really cool about classical music and choral music that's kind of timeless and a little nostalgic. And I think that's why we see music like that crop up in a lot of movies still, and video games and TV shows. Symphonic music and choral music is just like, it's so well respected. And this video is going on too long here, but one more thing. There's a great video out there called, I think it's called Why Classical Music is for Everyone. It's a TED Talk, and this conductor gives this great like 10 or 15 minute thing about classical music, because a lot of people just check out when they hear it and they don't think it relates to them, it's old, whatever the reason. But there's actually a lot of meaning to be found in it. So I encourage you to check that out if you have a chance. So thank you for the suggestion, and maybe I'll listen to some more choral music in the future. All right, bye for now.